If you're planning even one room makeover in 2026, these are the home decor trends designers are predicting and how you can get them on a budget. Let's talk about trend number 1, and that's warm, human, lived-in spaces. This one is so practical and beautiful. I love this trend. In 2026, home design is rejecting anything that feels cold, feels sterile, feels like a hospital or an airport. And we're also moving away from those really curated magazine-looking spaces. The new look is warm, lived in, touchable, textured, and a space that you could actually sit down and feel relaxed in. You're gonna see more warm whites, buttery neutrals. We're still seeing lots of browns, taupes, grays, and beiges in home decor, which gives that warm lived-in feeling. We're seeing lots of wooden tones, light woods and medium woods in particular, and people are rejecting the colder, cooler LED light tones in exchange for warmer tones from candles and lamps. Now here's the DIY budget version of this trend. Try swapping one space in your home out for warm lighting. And this could be as easy as swapping out a light bulb in your home. You can even buy app-controlled light bulbs that you can change the color temperature of from a cooler tone to a warmer tone. Try adding in some lamps or some faux candles into your space. Layer a comfy and cozy throw over the arm of your sofa. You don't need much to incorporate this trend, just a couple of thoughtful touches. Now, patterns are disappearing, and we've definitely seen a lot of pattern mixing last year, but the trend that's definitely taking over in 2026 is texture, tons and tons of mixed textures in decor. And this kind of goes along with that first trend of the lived-in spaces. So think of boucle textures, chunky knits, lots of rattans, woven pieces, lots of textured wood and stone, nubby linens, handmade pottery, and textured lampshades. So why are we seeing all of this texture in home decor? Because texture adds richness without the visual chaos that some of us can feel when there's lots of patterns in the space. Now, I'm a lover of patterns, so to me that does not feel chaotic, but if you tend to shy away from pattern, if it makes you feel overwhelmed, sticking to a neutral tone or a few different neutral tones like I talked about in the first trend, but adding in all that texture is gonna make your space feel interesting without the overwhelm. So here are some DIY ideas on how you can incorporate this trend into your space. You could paint a thrifted lamp with some baking soda mixed into some regular paint to give it a textured look. Stipple it all over with a brush. You could create a chunky knit blanket. I have a tutorial for one. I will leave it down in that description box below. Add that to your living room. You could swap out 1 or 2 smooth items in your home for something with more texture. One of the things I notice again and again and again in spaces that feel a little bit too cold and sterile is that they have too many smooth surfaces. So swap out 1 or 2 of your smooth pieces with something more textured. In 2026, designers are expecting a huge rise in items in your home that look handcrafted, artisanal, handmade, like you bought them at a craft fair or an antique store. So we're talking about vintage accents, we're talking about handmade pottery, unique thrift store pieces, things passed down from your mom, your grandma, your great-grandma, all of these things that tell a story in your space. So the DIY version of this trend is go to the thrift store. I love thrifting. Usually you have to go pretty often to find those treasures, but even if you find one interesting piece, maybe it's some vintage art. I love looking at handmade pottery at my local thrift store. I found some really fun pieces. You just need that one piece that tells some sort of story. You could also consider updating hand-me-down pieces, Facebook Marketplace pieces, thrift store pieces with paint. You can easily paint furniture. I like to make sure that I scuff sand it first to give it a bit of texture, prime it if you need to, if it's still a little bit shiny, and then paint it with cabinet and trim enamel. You can also add handmade touches to your home by doing your own handmade DIYs with air-dried clay. And all of these things tell a story. They're so much more interesting than buying new, and they're gonna be on trend for 2026. And just a sidebar here, as always, when I share these yearly trend reports, don't feel pressured to do any of these trends. You need to decorate your home with you and your family in mind, with pieces and decor that you love. However, this is just a little bit of inspiration if you're feeling stuck, or if you want to try one of these trends and do some fun DIY. Trend number 4 is richer color stories, and we've been seeing this trend grow over the past 2 to 3 years. All the 2026 color forecasts, all of the paint companies that are sharing all their 2026 colors are pointing more to those warmer, richer tones. So think lots of burgundy. We're seeing that all over the holiday season this year. Olive greens, mossy greens. I love my deep olive green wall in my home office. We're seeing warm khaki tones and warm wood tones and camel tones in spaces. These make rooms feel really grounded and earthy, and they work as a really nice base for all sorts of different colors too. If you want to try a DIY budget-friendly version of this trend, don't worry about painting every single wall in your home in one of these rich, deep colors unless you want to. You could pull these colors into your home through accessories, whether it's cushion covers, lamps, table decor, textiles like throw blankets, tablecloths, etc. Even painting a thrift store frame in a deep green or a burgundy would be a great way to add these colors into your space. Now we're still seeing the shift to those more curvy, organic shapes in 2026. It's a little bit more subtle. No more giant bubble sofas taking over our room or those curvy mirrors we saw a couple years ago. It's a little more refined this year. So instead we're seeing really subtle, rounded details like rounded corners on coffee tables, furniture. We're seeing sofa arms that are slightly curved. We're seeing sculptural lamps, and we're seeing arch top mirrors and even arches in walkways in your home. These feel a lot gentler and more natural than square edge pieces. The DIY budget-friendly version of this is you can add curves through DIYs. I did a really fun DIY where I added some scallop trim to an IKEA step stool. It looked really cute and was so simple. And if you're choosing mirrors for your space, consider maybe a round mirror or an arched mirror instead of something square to add some more softness into your space. After the chaos of the last several years, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about, people are looking to make their homes a sanctuary and make their homes almost a sort of wellness retreat. Sort of a spa-like space, but something a little bit cozier, something that promotes rest and warmth. So for this look, think about natural materials, lots of nature materials brought inside, sisals, grasses, plants, calm, warm lighting. So we talked about the warmth of the lighting that we're seeing in today's trends. We're seeing decluttering definitely helping bring that sense of calm into spaces, but still adding, one or two of those story pieces on your surfaces. And lots of soft textures in the space, and also think about scent in a space. That's definitely something that can completely change your mood in your own home. A DIY budget-friendly version of this, try creating a little wellness corner in your space, maybe a little reading nook that brings you peace every time you sit there. In our little lake house, we created this with this beautiful egg chair from Walmart, nice and budget-friendly, added a little basket of throw blankets, a lamp with a nice warm bulb. You can sit here, have coffee, read books, and it's just a little corner for people to retreat to when they want to feel peace. One of my favorite 2026 trends is soft utility. So we're seeing practical pieces that actually do a job, like maybe they're a coffee station or maybe they're a change table in a child's room, but we're making them pretty. We're seeing decor and furniture pieces that are both beautiful and practical. And this is an especially important trend or really principle to consider when you're decorating a small space. You want your pieces to do double duty, and you want them to look good too. So people are designing really cute drop zones. They're doing beautiful entry pieces, lots of built-ins, and furniture with lots of hidden storage. For some DIY ideas for this trend, try using an old piece of furniture as a coffee station. Maybe look on Facebook Marketplace for a hutch or a cabinet that you can turn into a really interesting and beautiful looking coffee station in your living room, your kitchen, or your dining room. Organize your kitchen countertops with pieces that you actually use that look great. I found so many amazing kitchen pieces just on Amazon. I have a marble toothpick holder, pretty cutting boards, a lovely butter keeper. All these things are practical. I actually use them almost every day, but they look pretty sitting on my countertop. All of these are designed that makes your home work better for you. They're not fussy, they're actually practical. Let's talk about some of the micro trends we're seeing in 2026 that you can easily sprinkle into your home as you think about maybe refreshing your space for the new year. We're seeing a lot of pleated lampshades. I've seen some amazing DIYs for this on TikTok. I'll leave some of my favorites down in that description box below. Lots of oversized art instead of gallery walls. You can find this on Facebook Marketplace, the thrift store. You can DIY your own. Lots of handmade pottery. Again, check out your thrift store. I found some amazing gems there, or maybe try doing some fun little DIYs with air dry clay. We're still seeing warm metals, so aged bronze look, aged brass, more of those warmer tones instead of the cooler metallics. And we're also seeing a little bit of patterned upholstery and vintage inspired prints. You could bring small little bits of pattern through throw pillows as well. So of all of these trends, just take the one that maybe makes your heart happy that you want to try and have some fun with it this year. Let me know down in the comments below which of these trends is your favorite. Are you going to try any of them? I would love to know. And if you liked this video, you're going to like watching this one next, where I share some of my favorite IKEA organization finds that are going to make your home so cozy and organized in the new year.